Queen's Gambit declined, Charousek variation, 4.cxd5 exd5 5.bf4c66.e3. Smooth one player took the advantage and never let go. White really outplayed black in that one. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. White outmaneuvered black in the endgame. In the English opening, White plays c4 to take control of the d5 square without sacrificing a central piece. This is a more patient opening. The pawn push on d5 is ready with e6, and the bishop on the dark squares can advance. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. This makes winning a pawn a possibility. The bishop is prepared to grow into a functional square. By doing this, a bishop moves out of its beginning square and into the action. Cxd5 captures the d5 pawn and attacks the e6 pawn. Xd5 captures the d5 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. Bf4 develops the bishop to an active diagonal where it attacks the c7 pawn and controls the center. c6 supports the d5 pawn and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. It is best. e3 supports the d4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. It is best. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. It is a fair deal after all captures. Backs off. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. This develops a knight from its starting square, activating it. It is the final book action. By doing this, a queen moves off of its beginning square and into the action. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. It is quite good. This provides an equal exchange of parts. It is ideal. The rooks are linked by this, making it easier for them to work together in the future. It is ideal. This is an equal trade. It is best. Recaptures. It is ideal. This develops a knight from its starting square, activating it. It is quite good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. Now that the rooks can see one another, they can defend one another. It is ideal. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. That's fine. It is good. This develops a rook off its starting square, getting it into the action. It is good. It is a fair deal after all captures. It is ideal. Backs off. It is ideal. This move puts the queen on a safer square. It is best. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. That's good. This moves the queen to safety. It is good. This misses a chance to threaten a queen and gain tempo. It is incorrect. There were worse moves, but also something much better. It is an inaccuracy. The queen is now on a square that is more secure. That's good. Although the score was nearly equal, White now has the upper hand. It is incorrect. This gains time by putting a queen in danger and getting it to flee. It is ideal. This offers an equal trade of pieces. It is good. This is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. Recaptures. It is ideal. This forks pieces by creating a simultaneous attack. This threatens to win a pawn. It is best. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. It is best. Backs off. It is ideal. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This threatens to kick a knight. It is good. This wins time by threatening a knight and forcing it to move away. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This defends a knight that was under attack and had no defenders. This threatens to take an open file with the rook. It is best. This captures a vulnerable pawn. It is best. This buys time by putting a rook in danger and getting it to flee. It is ideal. This attacks a knight and gains a tempo when the knight retreats. That's good. This is how you take the pawn. It is ideal. It is a fair deal after all captures. That's good. This is the start of the endgame and black is worse. It is best. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. This threatens to kick a knight. It is best. This threatens to take an open file with a rook. It is an inaccuracy. A pawn kicks the opposing knight, forcing it to move or risk being captured. That's good. There is a better way to get a knight to safety than this. It is incorrect. The rook is now on a square that is more secure. It is ideal. A pawn kicks the opposing rook, forcing it to move or risk being captured. It is quite good. This adds pressure by pinning a knight. This threatens to win a knight. It is best. That's a decent move. That's good. This poses the risk of producing a passed pawn. It is quite good. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. This exchange is fair. It is quite good. Recaptures. It is ideal. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. This results in a pawn being lost. It is incorrect. That pawn was available for free. That's good. This moves away from the knight in shining armor. It is ideal. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. Backs off. It is ideal. The knight is now on a square that is more secure. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. It is ideal. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. That is a logical response. It is quite good. This overlooks an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. This allows the opponent to activate the king by getting it off of the back rank. It is an inaccuracy. In the endgame, an active king is essential, and removing it from the rear rank is the first step. It is ideal. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. This defends the pawn that was attacked. It is ideal. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. The knight now occupies an outpost, a secure square in the opponent's territory. It is good. This ignores an opportunity to capture a vulnerable knight. It is an inaccuracy. A very strong play. It is excellent. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. This makes winning a pawn a possibility. It is quite good. This avoids the knight's check. It is ideal. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. A solid choice. It is excellent. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. Among the best actions. It is quite good. A passed pawn is pushed by this. It is quite good. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. It is quite good. That is a logical response. It is quite good. This moves away from the knight in shining armor. It is ideal. A very strong play. It is excellent. A solid choice. It is excellent. Very precise. It is best. The knight is now located at an outpost, a safe area inside the enemy's territory. It is ideal. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. The moved pawn advances toward its objective. It is quite good. Among the best actions. It is quite good. This is the way to win a pawn. It is best. Smooth. One player took the advantage and never let go. White really outplayed black in that one. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. White outmaneuvered black in the endgame.